See this overexposed white sky? Most people would think the photo is ruined, but I'm going to show you how to fix it with a simple trick. I actually recorded this a while ago, but I realized the technique is actually pretty good, so I decided to upload a shorter version with all the unnecessary parts cut out. Even with the new AI tools we have now, this specific blending mode trick is still the fastest way to get natural results. At the end, I will show you the result I got with Nano Banana, just so you see the result with AI. And I'll give you my opinion on it. We're not going to do any complex masking here. Instead, we're going to use the brightness of the sky to tell Photoshop exactly where to place the new sky. It's a clever little shortcut that handles tricky details very well, like hair or thin branches. Actually, way better than any selection tool. It's simple, it's fast, and it's a technique I still use all the time. So let's jump in and I'll show you how it's done.
We're going to use the multiply blend mode to create this sky using another stock image. And I'm going to show you how to change the color of this and how to go from this to this. So I hope you will like it. It's an easy tutorial. You can use Photoshop CC or any other version. And well, let's get started. Okay, so here is the photo that we're going to use. Again, I'm going to show you, we're going to go from this to this. Let me open the stock image that I'm going to use for this. It's a high resolution image, but it's pretty out of focus. To be honest, it's not a really good shot. Oftentimes when you take an image like this, when the sun goes down, it's pretty dark outside. So in order to have your subject well illuminated, you have to bump up the ISO or shoot at a lower f-stop. So basically what that means is that in many cases you're going to blow out the sky, and in this case it's actually that's going to help us because it's gonna make the selections easier. We're gonna see that on this image. Let's start working on that. I'm gonna create a copy with Control J. The first thing I want to do is straightening. Obviously, if you're working with a raw file, you would be able to recover the sky because it's not really that uh, completely blown out. But anyways, so I'm going to straighten this. I'm going to press Control Command T to load the free transform. You can see the image is selected, and I'm going to use the crop tool. And here, right here on top, you will see the straighten tool. And I'm going to use the horizon to straighten this, create a line along this like that. And this will straighten my photo. Let's start with this. Now, the first thing I want to do is open my new sky image. So I'm going to press Control Command O to open, well, actually I have the folder open right here. This is the image that I'm going to use. So I'm going to copy this. You can use any other image that you want, but try to match more or less the perspective. I'm going to paste my image again here. I'm going to try and match more or less the size of them. I'm going to drop the opacity a bit so that I can see where the horizon is and try to match the horizon of my image there. And now we have to mask the bottom part. Now we're going to make a first mask using the gradient tool, and then we're going to select the subjects here. So I'm going to create a layer mask for this new layer, which I'm going to name sky. And with the gradient tool, make sure you have black to white. Also like that. And I'm going to create a soft transition. Oops. First select the layer mask and create a gradient like that. Now, I'm going to change the blend mode of this to multiply. And the reason why I'm doing this is because it's going to make it easier when I mask around here. And because this is white, it's going to pretty much be left how it is. So it's not going to change much the aspect of my sky here. Now, we're going to turn off the visibility of that layer for a second and get the quick selection tool and go to layer 1, which I'm going to name photo, because I want to select my subjects here. I'm going to make a quick selection like that. Actually, you can use maybe with the magic wand, you will get a better selection. It's a lot easier. And with the quick selection tool, you can actually refine. I'm going to zoom in a bit. You can refine your selections. I'm going to exclude this area from here. I'll just make a basic selection. Don't worry too much about the edges. We're gonna fix them. So with this selection ready, actually I have to include the top part. Great. Now with this selection ready, I'm going to activate my sky layer again and select this, and I have to actually invert this and paint with black. Now it's not a good option because I lose the gradients. I'm just gonna paint with a brush with black over my subjects over here. Like so, as I said, don't worry too much about the edges. We're gonna fix them. Okay, something like that. Now let's fix the edges. I'm gonna use the same brush and I'm gonna drop the opacity to 20 and the flow about 20 as well. Hardness set to 0. And just paint with white to reveal parts like that. And here you can see that we have this transition, which is actually good because we're going to merge that part with the bottom part, which I will use the same image. You will see that in just a second. So just blend things here. Maybe 20 is too low, 50 and 20. 50 opacity and flow 20. And just paint with white over these areas to blend in the hair. In this case, it's a bit easy because, well, it's quite easy for this particular image because my subjects are out of focus, and with a soft brush, you can easily paint things back and you will not see hard edges. The key to this kind of blendings is using low opacities. Also, what you can do if you have harder edges, just double click on the layer mask and increase the feather. And that's pretty much it. Now let's work on the bottom part. You can see now we have the sky there, but what I want is to create this sort of a sunset and have this sunset colors. Now I will use the same image as I use on the sky. I'm gonna paste it again because I still have it on the clipboard. But what I will do now is blur it because the only thing that I want from this image is the color. So I don't need the texture and things like that. I just need the color of it. So I will just go to filter, blur, and choose Gaussian blur. And actually 80 pixels, it's okay for this canvas size. It also depends, of course, on the canvas size that you have. And I'm gonna drag it a bit lower because this part here is too dark. So just something like that over there. And now I'm gonna change the blend mode of this to multiply as well. If it's too strong, try something else or simply use levels and brighten a bit the midtones, and that's pretty much all you have to do. But now you can see the part over here on the top part is overlapping the sky, which is not good. So I'm gonna create a layer mask and create a transition like that, and that's it. Okay, now the problem that we have here is that part of this layer 2 is on top of my models over here, and the head of the man is not affected by the color, but the woman and the rest of their bodies are. So I will use a layer mask for this. I'm gonna paint with a brush, with a soft brush, low opacity and flow 50 and 40 I think is okay, and paint with black. Really accurate and precise selections are not necessary here. I see something that I don't like. Yeah, over here. Layer mask here is not completely okay. Let's continue over here. What I want to do is I want to color the couple using curves. So I'm gonna simply go back here and add a curves adjustment, and I'm going to blue. And I want to add some yellow on highlights, and you can use this the curves. Just add a curves adjustment and go to the blue channel, and the opposite of blue is yellow. So if you just drag this down, you can see you can add yellow, sorry. to highlights. So I'm gonna do something like that. It's too strong. And we're gonna invert the layer mask, but I wanna add some contrast as well. So on the RGB, simply add some contrast like so. Actually, highlights are too bright, especially on the man's face. So I'm gonna do something like that. Now, I'm gonna invert the layer mask so that no effect is visible. And now simply paint that effect back in using this 50M40 and soft brush. And just paint that back in. And that's pretty much it. I'm gonna zoom in so I can see the face a bit better. Like that. So I'm going to filter, camera raw filter, because the camera raw it's only available in Photoshop CC. So here, do whatever you want. I have some notes with some of the settings that I had. So I changed the temperature to -5. Obviously, this is really up to you, but this is what I did. And a tint to 6. And clarity, I have it to 9. I increased a bit the vibrance and the saturation. And on the HSL, you can do some cool stuff. Here, we can change completely how the colors look. So on hue, I have 0 and 1. And then on yellows, I have -9. And on the saturation, I have 13. So I saturated my reds. Oranges, 38. 41 for the yellows, and 12 for the greens. And luminance, we have 10 on oranges, -8 for yellows, and 0. And on aquas, -3, and 19 for blues. And the face of the man is still too bright, so I could use maybe the brush tool. Okay, I'm gonna use a gradient like that with the shape of his face, radial gradient. I'm gonna choose inside and just drop the opacity. Well, actually, especially the highlights, just the highlights and the whites. The reason why you see this dark side, dark part here is because I made a mistake there brushing. Well, actually, you have, I should have not exit the camera raw. Because I also changed the camera calibration. Here you can do some really cool stuff. You can change how the overall colors look like. You can change the tones of them. See that? We'll leave that there. And change the red primary and the green primary, sorry. And here move this towards there and saturate that and click OK. Watch, let's add some vignetting. The photo already has some vignetting, so maybe just a little like that and click OK. So, doing it really quick, something really quick. For a client, you would probably do it a bit more carefully than I did right here. But take a look at the original. From this to this. I think it looks a lot better. And for this kind of picture where you have white sky, blown out sky, you can use sky overlays and use the multiply blend mode, and you will get something like that, like what you've seen here. So I hope you like this technique, and we'll see you on the next tutorial.
Okay, so as I mentioned at the beginning of the video, I also attempted to get the same result using AI. And at first glance, you can see that it did a pretty good job. Actually, the masking itself, it's great. I would say it's just as good as mine. So in that regard, I think it did a really good job. Also, the sky it chose, it's really nothing to say about that. It's very good. But still, there are two reasons why I wouldn't use AI, at least not for the final job. And the first one is the quality. The original stock photo that I uploaded to Nano Banana to create this was 5,000 pixels, the original size of the image. Now, after I got this effect, I downloaded an image with a size that does not even reach 2,000 pixels. In terms of resolution, at least for now, not even with the paid versions, you can get a really high resolution image that you can work with. Now, even if it kept the original resolution, most likely the quality of the image, the quality of the pixels themselves would not be the same. Now imagine that you're working for a client and sends you images from a photo shoot. They spend like maybe hundreds of or thousands of dollars using expensive lenses, and you upload this to an AI and just ruins the whole work because it's going to soften the image, remove details. You cannot do that. So that's the second reason why I wouldn't use AI. I think it's great if you want to get inspiration or even generate the backgrounds themselves, but I think using the manual, traditional way of doing this, just like I did in this tutorial, I think it's the way to go. Also, the look of the image, it kind of looks just like it threw a really cheap Instagram filter on it, and that's it. The version on the left, which is the one I made, I think it looks more natural. Now, it's not perfect. I did this really quickly, but I think you get the idea. At least this is my opinion. You can leave a comment and just let me know what you think about this, and I'll see you on the next tutorial.